Bye. Sayonara.
I was also very fortunate to interview one of our featured indie artists. This was Ayelet Avni, who is an amazing person to talk to. She, for around 20 years, was an artist and teacher, and then she kind of just found her way into writing music. And it was really awesome to hear her talk about the artistic process and what it means to challenge yourself and to try something new, even if you think you're done with what you're currently trying to do. So here's my interview with Ayelet Avni. So how are you doing today?
Great, thank you. Very excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. So the first question I have is, who are you listening to right now?
Well, actually, I'm listening now to Noga Erez. I don't know if you heard of her. She's an Israeli electropop singer-songwriter. I really like her songs. They're and she's a fascinating performer. I mean, she's a very, very good performer. So I like to watch her performs and to listen to the songs.
Oh, nice. So it's a combination of both the performance and the music?
Yeah, that's right. She's phenomenal.
So do you remember your first favorite artist or musician?
Yeah, well, when I was about 12-year-old, Rod Stewart came to Israel for a concert, and I went there with a friend, and I was really fascinated by him, by his performance on stage and the songs and everything, and so Rod Stewart has to be the first. I was the first fan of his, him.
So it was a real big moment for you as a kid seeing it?
Yeah, really, it's huge. It was huge because it was so big, and the stage and the lights and everything was so big, and it was really fascinating for me to see it.
It must have seemed even bigger because you were so small.
That's right.
So how would you describe the music that you make?
Well, I think it's a combination of pop, rock. I want to explore new styles in my music. In every song I make, I want to explore new styles, new style, and that's how I came to do Nomi-san. I mean, I searched for a Japanese rhythm and melody and something that would remind me of Japan. So I try to explore new styles in the songs I make, but usually it's pop rock.
So speaking of Naomi's song, that was a song you wrote after a short trip to Tokyo, and we hear you sing about your love of the cherry blossoms in one part. What are some other things you experienced on the trip that influenced the song?
Well, our hotel in Tokyo, you could see Fuji-san from the window of the hotel. I remember it was fascinating. So I also write there about the Fuji-san. It is as white as rice, flashing in my eyes. And also the beauty of the Japanese girls that have black hair and white face. It's very, very nice combination of opposites. And I write about that as well. And each time I sing this song, I remember Tokyo and Japan, and it really makes me excited.
Yeah, you really have a great way of trying to get across what you're seeing and the beauty that you're finding in it, which I found really, really interesting in the song.
Thank you.
And here is Ayelet's song Naomi-san from 2019.
שקוף כמנגל אורה, צבע פניה לבן, כמו השלג על פוג'יסן, כמו חרסינה שברירית, מה יפית, נעמיסן, מה יפית. כשהדובדבן פורח, או כשהפוג'יסן מלבין, האדמה תרעד makes me cry and smile. Fuji sun is white as rice, flashing in my eyes. Cherry blossom, oh so pink, flying in my dream. Cherry blossom, oh so sweet, makes me wanna scream. צבע פניה לבן, ורוד את הדובדבן, שחור כפחם שערה, שקוף כמו ניילון אורה. צבע פניה לבן, כמו השלג על פוג'יסן, כמו חרסינה שברירית. מה יפית, נמיסן, מה יפית.
So are there any particular Japanese musicians or artists that influence your work?
Not contemporary ones, but traditional Japanese music is surely something that I like to listen to. And when I was in Japan, I also recorded Japanese music in museums. So it has some influence on my work.
So do you like, when you record the music from those museums, do you like hold on to it to like listen to later and kind of explore?
Yeah, that's right. I like to listen to it and to get influenced by it in my songwriting. It's very difficult because it's so different from the melodies that I hear in the Western world. So, but it's very, very fascinating, and it's a great challenge.
Yeah, that's very true. I've heard musicians who go to live in Japan talk about how it's almost like relearning music because it's not what you typically look for when you're writing songs, when you start writing in that sort of style.
That's right. It's totally different from what you're used to.
So 5 years ago, you made the shift from more visual works as a painter and also a teacher to work on being a singer-songwriter. Was this a way to challenge yourself artistically, or was it something that you always wanted to do and you just kind of took the time to really take the plunge in?
Well, I had no idea I was going to sing. I mean, it came as a complete surprise for me and for my friends and family. No one imagined I would sing and stand on stage and sing to other people. It was really something that in the mid-career, and you're shifting to a totally different thing, and it was a surprise. I didn't imagine I would sing. I mean, it was totally surprised me. I felt that I said what I had to say as a painter to the world. And now I have to do to shift to a new media, and I find it in music.
And was that do you kind of approach songwriting the same sort of way you approach painting?
Well, that's a good question. I think yes. I think also in painting, I was trying to challenge myself to look for new styles in every painting I've made. I shifted from one style to another. So yeah, I think it's quite the same in the music as well. Yeah.
So I watched the video of your solo performance that you do. I think it was back in 2015, and you were in this sort of constructed staging area, and you're playing solo. It was on your website, and it was really interesting to kind of see it as like a visual piece, and B, to hear your performance. What has the transition been like from that first solo show to now performing with a full band?
Well, it's I'm less spontaneous now than I used to be. It has to be, it has to be scheduled and with other people. But it is very interesting because my band is actually we're a girl band, and each one of them is an artist in herself. I mean, they are both. They are also singer-songwriters. Each one of them. So I feel that each one of them adds her perspective to the song, to the show. So it's not only my show; it's also their show. So it's a bigger thing. I feel I'm a part of a bigger thing now. It's not only me; it's also the other musicians on stage.
Yeah, I watched your performance that you put up in May, And it was really, really awesome show.
Thank you.
So you've really been enjoying the collaboration process?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, for a painter, you know, as a painter, you're alone in the studio, in your dark studio. You don't see anyone. You're painting for yourself, and then it's totally different thing, because then you come out and you sing to the world, and the world sees you and it claps, and you know, it's so different. It's the exact opposite of being a painter alone in your studio.
Yeah, I knew a painter who said he had to take frequent breaks from painting because he had to kind of get his eyes away from what he was doing to kind of come back and have fresh eyes. And I assume working with a full band is nice because you always have someone else kind of approaching it from a different angle.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So your songs are sung in both Hebrew and in English. Are there any challenges to performing and writing music in two languages?
Well, I'm not an English speaker, so it's very, very difficult for me to write and to perform in English. I always say I won't do it anymore because it's difficult. But then it is so, there is a great reward because you reach so many people you wouldn't have reached if you sang only in Hebrew. So it's a great dilemma for me because it is very tempting to reach, you know, the whole world, you know, so many people. And in Hebrew you are very, very limited. But then I just combine the two, and I think I find my own path in this way.
So when approaching, sorry I didn't put this in the interview questions, I just thought of it now. So approaching writing in a different language, what prompts you to do that? Are you like, maybe I just want to kind of get this idea across in English, or maybe just you're looking for a certain sound?
It's not the sound, it's sometimes the idea really comes to me. I like languages, you know, I also learned Japanese for a year.
Wow.
Yeah, I studied French language and literature. I love languages, and sometimes the ideas come to me in different languages. So in order to be honest with myself, I just put them as they came to me, and put them on the paper as they came to me in the first place. So in the first time. So just to be honest with myself, I put them in the same language they came in the first place, and this way, I mean, I feel it's more sincere.
Well, listening to your music, your passion for art really does shine through, and it is very honest music. I have found that, like, while listening to it, the instrumentation that needs to be there serves a purpose to kind of help explore the song as a whole. So if you could leave one message for your fans and for our listeners, what would it be?
It would be follow your heart. I mean, go after what your heart says to you, and don't be afraid of changes. And embrace changes in your lives, because changes are good. They make you are reborn. Every time you make a change, you are reborn. You explore a new field. It's very good. You feel young again.
That's awesome. That's a really great message. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eric.
Where can we check out your music? I know you're on SoundCloud.
Oh, yeah, on YouTube. There is my performances, and on Spotify and Apple Music, iTunes Music, every platform you can hear my songs.
Awesome. Well, we're definitely going to put a link to those places that we can find you in our show notes. Thank you so much once again for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for your time with me. Thank you.
No problem. Have a great day.
Thank you, Eric. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we're going to end with her song White Rainbow featuring Wild Grace from 2020.
White rainbow, white, the colors have died. No blue nor red. I'm so scared. White rainbow, dear, as soon as you're near, I take my white brush to give you a blush.
So Haru, how was it to interview Dida des?
Actually, we were speaking in Japanese mostly because we are both Japanese, so we had really good time.
That's really interesting. Ayelet is not an English native speaker, but she also speaks like French, and she studied Japanese for like 2 years.
Wow.
So it was really cool to talk to her about her because she sings in both Hebrew and English usually. To hear her talk about writing music in 2 different languages.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
So what was the cool thing you learned from Dida des?
To be honest, I almost never listen to Japanese hip-hop music because for example, when I listen to English hip-hop songs, I always hear some bad words or it makes me feel scared about hip-hop industry. But this time I interviewed with Dida des, and I noticed that he's just a Japanese guy, and he's so kind, and he's really good father. So I was kind of a little bit surprised about hip hop artist, and also I like his song, his music style, and also he writes lyrics about hip hop and his passion about music, and also he include songs about social issues like this coronavirus situation. So it's very interesting for me. And
So it kind of changed the way you think about hip hop.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So thank you very much for listening to this episode of J Top 10. Once again, this is only the second episode of this artist series, so we're always trying to hear what you think about it. So let us know. My name is Eric.
And I'm Haru.
And thank you so much for listening to this episode, and we'll see you next time.
Sayonara.
Bye.
Japan Top 10.